So anytime you hear the globalists talk about carbon tax, carbon credits, carbon emissions, in the end, it's you or the carbon that they want to get rid of. There's a depopulation movement going on, and we are playing into this by our own devaluing of life. It used to be that anytime there was an individual who wanted to unalive themselves and they were like on a window's ledge or on a bridge ready to jump, first responders or even citizens, it was, it's our moral duty to talk them back out of it, and talk to them about that their life is worth living. That has all started going away with some of these programs, especially with our brothers and sisters up north in Canada. They have the Medical Assistance in Dying program, or MAiD. And this launched in 2016, and it is now one of the most expansive and permissive euthanasia programs in the world. In 2023, this is shocking to me. 1 in 20 deaths in Canada were from the MAiD program. To qualify, you have to be an adult and mentally competent, but there is a ever-growing expansion of permissiveness in this program, which I'll get to. So you don't even need to have a terminal illness. All right, it can be psychological. It does not require the patient to exhaust all medical treatments or options either. You can get this just by disability alone. A woman with CP who did not want to do this, who went in for some treatments, was pushed to this program by the healthcare providers there. So instead of the healthcare providers actually providing care, they're like, hey, how about you consider unaliving yourself instead? This is where we're going as a society, and it is extremely frightening. Medical groups in some areas of Canada actually require doctors to inform, offer, or help provide MAiD to anyone that may qualify. Again, this is the permissive nature of this. When I talked about the globalists and the depopulation movement, it is expanding to people who are poor, have housing issues, or others. So look, the Associated Press did an investigation, and they found that a significant number of people were euthanized in Ontario when they weren't actually dying, and that these people live in the poorest and most deprived areas of that province. If you're poor, if you're having housing issues, if you have social isolation, they will start suggesting and pushing you to unalive yourself, and they will help you do that. This is a slippery slope, and it is being abused right now. The people that are being recommended this actually require disability support, housing support, and social connection, not just checking out of this life. The medical system in Canada is overwhelmed, and they want to reduce the surplus population. I'm sure you've heard Bill Gates talk about reducing or depopulating the planet. This is an agenda. This is a globalist agenda of what they want to do. Unaliving oneself has always been a dark part of reality, but when we encourage physicians and doctors in the medical system to do this, we push towards societal acceptance of unaliving oneself, and that's never okay. Canada is also doing this to harvest organs. They will give a drug to an individual before they unalive themselves to preserve the organs, and then they harvest them, and Canada now is becoming one of the biggest organ warehouses. Advocacy organizations in Canada are now suggesting expanding this program to children as young as 12. Again, it starts as one thing, it starts moving and becoming something else. It is getting evil. The Bible tells us choose life. Deuteronomy 30, choose life. God made you in the womb. You are wonderfully and fearfully made. This kind of stuff in society is causing us to devalue life. And that just plays in to this globalist agenda that we're all trying to fight against. It starts with how we treat life from the very beginning. And we have an epidemic here, starting with abortions, 73 million per year globally. On top of that now, we're recommending adults and children, these advocacy groups are pushing for children to unalive themselves as well. All of this just contributes to this dark, totalitarian, dystopian future that we're heading towards. And it's our duty as a society to reject these kind of things, to speak out against them, to talk and speak life, that life is valuable, life is important. We as a culture are becoming so unattached from the value of life itself. We saw this, unfortunately, with the Charlie Kirk assassination. Regardless of what you think of the individual, celebrating a death, what does that do? It just contributes to a global death cult. That's what I'm calling this whole thing. It's a global death cult. And if we're trying to stop the global control grid from coming down, the depopulation movement, we as a people have to start valuing life itself. It starts with us. It starts with speaking out and against these kind of programs.